Welcome to the Pod-Key summary of Sweet Dreams. Today's catch-up is all about how Sweet Dreams became one of those Beyoncé songs that did a lot at once. It pushed her sound into darker electropop, tied directly into the Sasha Fierce character, survived an absurdly early leak, and still turned into a durable pop hit that kept evolving through performances and covers. And what's especially interesting is that for a song this sleek and carefully styled, part of its story is how quickly it came together. Sometimes pop history is built in a blur. Sweet Dreams marked a pretty sharp turn away from the R&B, urban, and funk-leaning singles people already associated with Beyoncé. Instead, it leaned hard into electropop. Undulating electronic rhythms, a dark sliding bass line, a synth-heavy arrangement, and vocals that critics kept describing as controlled and slinky. A few reviewers heard Michael Jackson all over the low end, especially that Thriller-era feeling, with comparisons to Beat It, Thriller, and Bad. Other people connected it to Rihanna's Disturbia, which makes sense, but the bigger point is that Beyoncé wasn't just following a trend. She was helping define a broader move toward electronic pop, and in some ways getting there a little ahead of the pack. The creation story is kinda wild. Beyoncé reportedly heard the demo, went into South Beat Studios, and recorded her vocal in about 15 minutes. She'd come in unprepared, and also had to leave for Jay-Z's tour opening concert, so the whole vocal session lasted around an hour. That is not how people usually imagine a big pop single getting made. You picture weeks of tinkering, not basically fitting it in before heading out the door. Then the song leaked online in March 2008, just a day after it was recorded, under the title Beautiful Nightmare, which was 8 months before the album even came out. Usually a leak that early can kill momentum or get a song scrapped altogether. This one survived, got retitled, and ended up becoming one of the era's major hits, which says a lot about both the song and Beyoncé's confidence in it. The song landed on the Sasha Fierce disc of I Am. Sasha Fierce for a very specific reason. Its whole energy is sensual, aggressive, outspoken, glamorous, and a little dangerous, which is basically the persona in audio form. Even the central hook, asking whether this lover is a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare, fits that tension perfectly. It's desire mixed with warning. And Beyoncé said she picked it as a summer single because she wanted an up-tempo dance record that wasn't just about clubbing, partying, or pure sexual provocation. That gave the song a different emotional shape from the usual dance floor anthem. It moves like a pop banger, but there's uncertainty sitting right in the middle of it. The music video doesn't really bother with a conventional plot. It treats performance, styling, and image as the story. You get green screen voids, mirrored imagery, CGI doubling, robotic movements that snap into fluid choreography, and this floating, contextless dream space where everything feels slightly unreal. The opening goes especially hard in that direction. It starts like a dark fairy tale, with Brahms's lullaby, a heartbeat-like atmosphere, and Beyoncé levitating out of bed before the whole thing opens into a brighter performance spectacle. Critics were split on those first 30 seconds of horror-adjacent weirdness, but a lot of them really liked the choreography that followed, especially as a darker, more unsettling counterpart to Single Ladies. And then there's the gold Thierry Mugler robot suit, which basically works as a visual shorthand for Sasha Fierce herself. The references pile up on purpose. Barbarella, the Tin Woodman, Jane Fonda, even a callback to Single Ladies. Add in the $36,000 gold and diamond nail rings, and the whole clip becomes this deliberately excessive extension of the song's futuristic identity. Subtle was not invited, and honestly, that's part of the fun. What makes the story even better is that the stylistic gamble worked in straight-up chart terms too. The single hit number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 5 in the UK, number 2 in Australia, and number 1 on the US Hot Dance Club Songs chart. It also became Beyoncé's 13th solo top 10 Hot 100 single of the 2000s and her 11th number 1 on Dance Club Songs, so this wasn't some respected experiment that only critics admired. It connected widely. And it had real staying power. By October 2012, it had sold 1.691 million digital downloads in the US. And in Australia, it reached 4 times platinum in 2023 for 280,000 equivalent units. So the electronic sound wasn't just a cool detour. It proved durable, mainstream, and very replayable. You can see that long afterlife in performance too, from the 2011 Glastonbury medley with Eurythmics' Sweet Dreams to its appearance inside Alien Superstar on the 2023 Renaissance World Tour. The cover versions are a nice reminder that beneath all the production, this is a very adaptable song. Jessica Sanchez's 2012 American Idol version slowed it way down into a ballad with harps, and it got a standing ovation. Jennifer Lopez even suggested the reinterpretation was distinct enough that Beyoncé might want to borrow from it herself. At the same time, that performance opened up a familiar problem with covering Beyoncé. One critic praised Sanchez's restraint and confidence, while another felt her phrasing and vocal timbre were still too close to Beyoncé's, which made the performance feel less individual. The Big Pink went the other direction entirely, stripping out the high-energy pulse and turning the song into something moodier, flatter, and creepier. Taken together, those two covers show how much the composition can flex once you remove the original dance pop engine. The song can survive as a ballad, as a shadowy slow burn, and obviously as the futuristic pop record Beyoncé made it famous for. Sweet Dreams ends up looking like a pivot point. Fast-made, nearly derailed by a leak, visually extravagant, and musically important in how it expanded Beyoncé's lane. It's the kind of pop song that feels polished on the surface, but gets more interesting the more you look at how it was built and how long it's lasted. This episode was generated by Podkey. Create your own at podkey.fm.